Hey, what's happening, everybody? Jordan here from the Guru Crusaders. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this very different kind of video than what you might normally see on our channel. I'm actually out this week celebrating my birthday and just taking a well-deserved vacation with the family, and we wanted to do something kind of cool this week and something a little different. Wanted to give the idea, I wanted to give the rest of the guys who stream with us every week, I wanted to give them the week off as well. I didn't want them to have to worry about either continuing on our season or finding something else to stream or whatever. So we are actually recording this before I leave for my vacation, and we are just doing, again, something a little bit different. This is a tier maker. We are going to be rating the best desserts, as you can see in front of you. You're probably going to see a couple doubles, and we're going to kind of change up what some of them might actually represent, so it kind of fits to a tier more associated to us. So if you've done these before and you're like, what, and you see these and you watch this whole video and you're like, wait, that's not what that is, we're kind of changing it up a little bit just to make the video fun. But again, my name is Jordan, or Bloodryche, and I've got my brother Daybreaker Rain and our dad Music Wiz. They are going to be joining in on this tier list, and let's get them in. Hi, what is up, everybody?
Yo.
All right, so I was just kind of laying out that we are doing something different for the channel, and I let them know that you guys are here with me, and we are going to rate these desserts on a scale of S to D. For anybody who's never seen these kind of tier maker videos, what you see in front of you, we are going to, based on our tastes and our arguments, we're going to place all of these desserts on a list and just go from there, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we personally like as desserts. We're not listing these as desserts like what you see on TV. It's literally based on our tastes. So some of these we may have never even had, or not have had in a long time, or had it in the style of the photo. But we'll get to those as we get down the list. So you guys ready?
Yeah, let's just make one thing clear before we start. If any of this has any dairy product in it, because I'm a vegan, just put it on the bottom list right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm kidding.
Wiz is not a vegan, so and he could just exit the chat, because all of this has more than likely all of this has dairy in it. Okay, cool.
I'm vegan.
All right, so I kind of shuffled up this list before we started recording, and we kind of put them like in tiers, kind of, to make it a little bit more easy, so we're not jumping from like cake to 8 different things and then another cake. So, all right, let's start with the top first thing on the list. That is a ice cream cake. What are your guys' thoughts on ice cream cake?
Go ahead, dude.
No, I was just gonna say I've only had it a couple times, so
Yeah.
sample sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on what kind of ice cream.
Right.
Yeah, because there's just some ice creams that just don't go.
Yeah, because I I would definitely agree. Like, even like with this picture, I can probably guarantee I would hate it. Because that like fake whipped creamy kind of icing, I personally don't like. The bottom looks good, but yeah, like you said, like if it was like an Oreo kind of like cookies and cream,
yeah, I could do that.
Ice cream cake, I'd do that for days. So,
I mean, and think about it. It's what happens at a birthday party? You always get ice cream and cake.
Right.
Here it is. You have it all in one. You don't have to.
Convenient.
And it's convenient. Yeah. So that's a big plus right there. Convenience.
Okay.
So.
Well, and let me put this back real quick, because so like again, for anybody that's never like seen a tier list kind of thing, so S is obviously like you would die for this, or this is something like your go-to no matter what kind of thing, and then it just kind of goes down from the tiers from there, like with D being like you would probably never order this, or you may not even eat it if it was offered to you. So and then A through C kind of fits somewhere in the middle there. So yeah, so I guess with what we're saying, I mean, maybe like a B.
I would say low B.
Like a low
B.
I
would not. Yeah, I would not die for it.
Okay.
I could live without it.
Cool. Yeah, I feel good with that one there.
Yeah, that's one of those things that, if you go to a party and it's offered, you're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
But it's not like if you go to the party and like, where's the ice cream cake? No, you're not gonna do that. So.
Yeah, and I mean, even when I had a Baskin Robbins right down the street, like I wouldn't go to a Baskin Robbins just for an ice cream cake. I'm gonna go like specifically for the ice cream, which we'll get to that somewhere down the road. Okay, cool. Great way to start. All right, so as you guys can see, there are 2 images of confetti cake. We don't know why. We didn't build this tier list. If you guys are familiar with the Game Grumps, they did this exact list. So I literally found the one that they did. Again,
We stole it.
don't know why it's on here. So what we have done as a collective, this first one is going to be cake, just cake as a whole. And then the next one will actually be confetti cake, to kind of differentiate. So, yeah. So cake, where does that fit in for you guys on a list of desserts?
I mean, I love cake, but again, it's what type of cake.
Yeah, it solely depends on the type of cake. Like
If it's-
most cakes I can eat, but I'm pretty selective when it comes to certain things that are on them.
Yeah.
Like if it's German chocolate, I'll eat the whole thing.
Right.
If it's something like that. If it's some, yeah, there's some cakes that there's just some cakes that just you take a bite and
And I'm just not big on anything with like artificial coconut, so I'm just not big on like German chocolate cake and like carrot cake.
Yeah, carrot cake. See, no.
Well,
Right.
no, and it's mainly just because of the artificial coconut. Like I'm not big on
Right.
artificial coconut as a whole. Like, and so when they just add it on cake, it's like it's not.
Yeah. So like if that was, if like that was one specific like item on here for you, that would probably be like in the D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for me, I mean, I we'll get to it like at a later one, but like cake is just not something I feel like I drift to anymore. I feel like it's kind of like if you're at a gathering or a party or something, it's usually there and I would eat it, but I don't go to the store specifically to buy like a pre-made cake, or I don't buy like cake mixes. Like I don't bake cakes at home. So, I mean, I think for me, I would personally put this at a C. But where would you guys kind of?
Oh, I agree.
I was thinking B, but
B?
yeah, I mean, I've been
Like
B,
high C, high C, low B. Yeah, we'll put it in B. That's fine. Give that a B minus there.
Cake.
All right. Yeah. So sticking with cake over the next couple ones, we have confetti cake.
Yeah, that shit sucks. Yeah, that's that. I don't know. I don't know that was that someone that said my cake looks very bland. Let's just throw some freaking crap in it to make it give it color, or some candy or something. Yeah, no.
Well, specifically, is like confetti cake like birthday cake? Like you see like like Hostess has those birthday cupcakes.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that what confetti cake kind of like entails, more or less? It's more or less just like the birthday cake flavor that you see in a lot of things.
I would say yes.
I just read that they say it's either white or yellow with with like this. They're like rainbow colored sprinkles that are put in. So yeah, to me it's like I made this cake. I don't have time to decorate it and make it look cool. I'm just gonna throw this crap in there and bake it, and I'm done.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I prefer confetti like in a cupcake because it's like smaller. I don't like it as like a cake itself. In a cupcake, it's phenomenal. I could, woof down one of those. But yeah, to kind of go backtrack on what you were saying, Daybreaker. I would also probably put what you said, like the birthday cake flavored items could probably also fall into this.
Yeah.
But like I was in that regard. I mean, I would just say that for me personally, I prefer like the birthday cake, like in anything, like in its various other forms that's not specifically cake. Like like birthday cake Pop-Tarts are fine, and birthday cake Hostess cupcakes are fine.
But confetti cake by itself is just kind of eh.
Yeah, like it definitely wouldn't be my go-to.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're kind of in agreement to put this for our first D.
No, I would say C. I
C?
wouldn't put it necessarily D. Like, it's not like I hate it.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely just not.
Wiz definitely does. He said that was shit.
If I went to a party and that was what the dessert was, I would leave. So.
All right. Well, this is great. Okay. All right, so our next one, Daybreaker and I actually looked at this. I was kind of going for more of like a chocolate cake, but I really liked his idea. We're gonna look at this as like a fancy mirror glaze kind of cake. So something that it doesn't necessarily have to be chocolate, but like fancy cake. You know, has a lot of work put into it.
Which I said that, and then I, thinking about it in retrospect, yeah, like I've never really had mirror glazed cake, like ever, so like I've always been impressed by it. Like I see it in a bunch of cooking shows, and I'm just like, damn, that's freaking cool.
Yeah,
they can do that.
I know, it make them like, it looks like marble.
Well, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Nuts.
Yeah.
To me that looks almost like it's almost like a mousse.
Yeah, like there's like some mousse in here.
Yeah, no, I could dig that. Mousse is light, mousse is light. It's a light dessert, and like you said, it's fancy, and it's probably, the flavors have probably been very well done. Like,
oh, you would hope.
Like, well, of course.
Yeah.
Like Daybreaker said, I mean, there's been attention put to it, and like you see on these baking shows, these insane cakes that they make.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I mean, with that, yeah, because I personally, thinking back, I don't think I've ever had like a mirror glazed cake, but I mean, I've probably had some fancy cakes that could fall into this category. So I would lean to put it in an A because of my experience with fancy cakes. Obviously it's not something I would die for, but like it's something I would, if it like Wiz said, if there's been a lot of work put into it, I'm probably gonna enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we all good on A there?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So we got 2 more cakes left. So I'm gonna come straight out. This next one is tiramisu. I'm already gonna say I would automatically put this at S tier. It is a very specific taste. I know a lot of people don't like coffee. They don't like coffee with their cake. They like those as 2 like separate items. But anytime I go to like a Cheesecake Factory or like a really fancy restaurant, I will look to see if they have a tiramisu. That's where I would put it. But of course, we're all doing this as a collective. So,
well, and you know what? I if it's done properly, you should also taste some brandy in that. If it's done right. So, and of course, it's mascarpone custard too. So it's a very light, and but yeah, I think what you hit on is the coffee.
Yeah,
coffee's not something that's everyone's favorite,
right?
But yeah, I like it. I don't think it would be my first go-to, but I mean, I like it.
If it's on the list, and I don't know anything else like dessert-wise that's available at wherever I eat, I usually go for it. I like tiramisu a lot, honestly. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think just kind of general with it. We got our first S.
Yeah, I think you both do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Finally, with the cakes, we have red velvet.
Oh man, if that freaking has cream cheese frosting on it, yeah, I freaking would eat that all day long.
Yeah.
That to me, that's an S.
Okay.
I love red velvet.
For me, I'm not really big on red velvet. I'm not really big on red velvet, if I can freaking get my words out. Just mainly because like I feel to me it's too rich, and that really falls into a lot of like, especially when it comes to like fancy cakes too. If there's just like a lot of like that sort of like higher grade chocolate and everything, like it can just be too much. So I just don't really care for that kind of stuff because like it feels like I can only eat like, you know, like a bite or two, and then it's just like, oh, I don't want to finish the rest of this. Unlike, you know, something like just like a regular, you know, cake or something. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can see where it gets from because there's a lot of buttermilk and of course butter and cocoa in that. So yeah, it can be a heavy cake. Yeah, but I would eat that all day long. And if you ever had a red velvet cookie, oh my god.
I almost bought one of those from the place I had breakfast at today.
Yeah, that's
okay. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the first thing because I mean tiramisu would be my like go-to. Red velvet would probably be like right under that. So I'm kind of in agreement with Wiz on that. But with Daybreakers, do we kind of feel like this would be more of like an A, like middle of the road A, low A?
Nope, he's muted. I wonder if he knew he muted himself.
No, sorry, there's stuff coming through my mic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, cool. They there was a I can't remember. It may have been Subway, and I think they used to have a red velvet white chocolate cookie.
Yeah.
And that was freaking just. Yeah, it was a bomb. That was a bomb. Yeah. Always, if they had those, you know, where you could buy, I think you get 3 for $1 or 3 for whatever. Yeah, I would snag those because those were just,
for sure.
Yep.
Cool.
Those are cool.
All right. So moving on from cakes, we now have. So again, this list is really weird in terms of like some of the desserts that fall on this. So. Again, Daybreaker and I looked at this before we started, and there's only 2 pies on this whole freaking list, and people could be like so specific. I felt like what we could do with these 2 pies that are here on the list is the first one would be pie as a whole, and the second one is going to be like seasonal pies, like ones that you normally probably wouldn't eat, excluding like or only around like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Because I personally don't ever eat pumpkin or pecan any other time of the year.
That's true.
So that's where we kind of figure this. So the first one is just pie as a whole. I guess maybe you could put pumpkin in that or pecan, but we're gonna separate those in the next one.
With pies, I'm really picky. I mean, I like a flaky crust. I don't like that dry crust, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of fruit. I mean, Whoa, that was weird.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not a big fan of a lot of fruit-filled pies. I mean, like I like an apple cinnamon. I can do blueberry, but pies are just not a go-to for me. Yeah. I mean, of course, like you said, the holidays, and we'll get to the next one. But It's really funny when, and I probably told you the story when we were on a bowling team. We would go to Village. The league started at 9:00, and it would be over at midnight. And we would go to Village Inn because they were open 24 hours, and we would go get pie.
Right.
We'd get a piece of pie, and if we did eat pie, I would pretty much go for the chocolate silk, or something like that. I was not a big fan. I mean, I could eat them. I like a warm pie, like a warm apple cinnamon pie with maybe like some vanilla. Yeah. I can do, but that's just not. Pies are just not a go-to.
Yeah.
Just not. I don't know why. I just maybe because I didn't grow up with a lot of pies. I don't know.
I mean, I can feel you there because like I would say. I'm literally in the same way. Like when we had Village Inns here, that would be me and a couple friends when I first moved here would do that too. We go to Denny's or Village Inn when we had them. But yeah, I don't lean towards like just getting a pie. I tend to go towards more some of the stuff at the end of the list. Yeah, so I mean, I would even say to like probably put this here. We'll get Daybreaker's opinion though first.
Now I don't see them now. If it's like a like a fruit filled, like those, like what do they call them? Well, I mean, they call them apple pie. They're like a pastry with a fruit inside.
Yeah.
Is that a fritter?
Well, not the fried. Remember? Okay, so there's a guy here in town that died not too long ago. His name was August, and he had it's called August pies, and he sells them here in town. But they're basically, it's basically like a folded over, like crescent looking, and they have fruit in them.
Okay.
And the coat and the crust is usually maybe got some sugar or something in it. Mm-hmm. I'll eat those. Those are good.
Yeah.
But again, it's not something that I would go out of my way to get.
Right.
So, put pies down in the D. No, I'm kidding. I'd give it a C. That'd be me.
Mm-hmm.
Daybreakers.
Yeah, but
there you are. There you are.
Cool. All right. So moving on to seasonal pies. And I guess you could probably put. I mean, I know a lot of people probably would put apple in this as well. But literally, just I guess scope of any kind of seasonal pie that you would normally eat during like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that kind of era.
Well, and see, that's the thing. That's like almost tradition.
Yeah.
You have your meal, and then you either have a pumpkin pie, or some people make a sweet potato pie, which tastes like a pumpkin pie,
mm-hmm.
or a pecan pie, or in the case of your uncle, it's a derby pie. So, stuff like that. So, I think that's a given. I don't know if there's maybe people out there they don't like eating pie, but I'm gonna eat pie during the holidays.
Yeah.
Now, can I live without it? Sure. So
Right.
I'd say an A.
Okay.
I think we're all in agreement, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So moving away from some of the pastry stuff, the next we've got like ice creamy desserts. The first one that you see there is just going to be ice cream as a whole. This could be coned in a cup, whatever flavor your go-to would be. Just ice cream as a whole in that retrospect. Me personally, I would put this a little bit higher than some of the other desserts that we've got because just like over the past 5-6 years, like we used to have a 24-hour Baskin Robbins time was called a Dutch Bros Dunkin' down the street. We always used to hang out at that one, before we had the kids and stuff. Like we would go out and grab a scoop at 11:30 at night. So I would personally put that a little bit higher.
I agree. I think ice cream's like your go-to. You want something sweet, but you don't want. It's easy to eat. And especially if you go to Baskin Robbins, you got choices.
Yeah.
And then you got seasonal too. During the seasons, I love pumpkin ice cream. That's one of my favorites. So, yeah, I definitely would put ice cream up there at the top. But live without, I could live without it. But I would definitely put it up at an A.
Yeah,
ice cream. Yeah. Dun-dun.
Cool. All right, so our next one, for the viewers out there, again, this was another one that Daybreaker and I kind of had to like go over, and we really couldn't differentiate what the fuck this thing is. So we actually decided to go with, because Daybreaker mentioned that it looks kind of like a McFlurry, because you can see that it's in a cup of some sort, but to me it also looks like a cookie in a cup. So my brain went to like a Pizookie for anybody who knows what those are, but in the realm of ice cream, we're gonna go with that. So this would be like your specialty stuff, like yeah. So this specific one, it would be like your specialty stuff, like a McFlurry or a Blizzard from Dairy Queen, stuff like that.
Well, I would definitely put that same as I would ice cream. Again, it's not something, but it's a go-to dessert. Especially we go to Dairy Queen and get the blizzards, right? Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked those. The mixing, especially the chunk of chocolate and crap in it.
Right. We all sound in agreement in that one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's funny you brought up that one. That looks what'd you call them? A pizookie?
A pizookie?
Oh, because it's ice cream and cooking?
Yeah, it's like
a skillet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those are freaking phenomenal.
Those are phenomenal. And if they were on here, that would be S tier for sure. All right, next one is sundaes. So I guess this would be like not just necessarily a banana split, but anything that kind of falls into that realm.
Not to me.
I personally
go ahead.
Yeah, like I think I've had a banana split like 3 times in my life. It's just something, to me, it's a mess. I'm just not for that. But I know that in the spectrum of sundaes, like, there are some other stuff that I've gotten before. So
I would put that with just regular, for me, ice cream. I mean, it's I haven't eaten a banana split for probably since I worked at the Dipper. I actually worked at an ice cream deli. Yeah, I probably haven't eaten one of those. But getting a sundae from like Dairy Queen, the parfait, peanut parfaits. And stuff like that. Those are always good. Or what I like is the hot chocolate sundaes. The hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. I'd put that with ice cream.
Put that in A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Next up is going to be frozen yogurt. I guess I could start with this one. I personally don't go for frozen yogurt over ice cream. If there was a TCBY within walking distance, I would get that any day, because my parents got me addicted to the freaking that white chocolate mousse. I would kill somebody for that, like for a pint of that. But just regular frozen yogurt, like I don't go to that. I go for ice cream.
Yeah, I don't think I've eaten a frozen yogurt like forever. Where we lived, I mean, were there any Roswell frozen yogurt? I mean, at one time there was a TCBY, or was there?
Yeah, there was 2.
Yeah, they're both gone.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much we had custard.
Yeah.
Which is just a richer ice cream. Probably just gonna get dogged for that, but yeah, I would have to put that low because I just haven't had it enough. To even give an answer on that, so
to give a toot.
Yeah, I just don't.
You guys have
do
frozen yogurt?
Do
you guys have frozen yogurt bars there?
I don't know. Do we? I think we do.
I don't know, actually.
All right, so probably like a C, like maybe a high C.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, this next one, for anybody who knows what EGs are, that are familiar with Arizona, we thought this was kind of like a slushy kind of thing, but again, Dave Bricker brought up an interesting idea that this actually looks more like gelato. Excuse me, which I'm totally for. So that's what we're calling this. If you guys again have done this tier list and that's not what you call it, cool, whatever. But we're calling it gelato.
I'm not a big gelato fan.
Never had it.
I think it's because of the texture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a place, and it's so weird because there's like a few like overseas, and then there's it's a franchise that they're here in Tucson. They have a location in Albuquerque, Chicago, and then like 4 or 5 other locations like overseas, like in like the United Emirates or
what's it called?
Frost. They're a gelato place, and there's one up here in town near the Apple Store. It's in like a fancy mall. here in town, and like we love it. But again,
funny. That's where it is in Albuquerque. It's in the fancy place in Albuquerque. It's in Albuquerque uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, just with general, like, you know, Daybreaker saying he's never had it, just for the sake of it, I'm going to go ahead and put this at a B. Just because, you know, I feel like we're kind of, you know, with somebody who hasn't tried it, me personally who likes it, and then, you know, Wiz, doesn't like the texture, we're going to put that as a B. All right. Next up, we have popsicles. This could be like frozen. Obviously, you know, popsicles are frozen, but like we could probably put anything in this category from the freezer section that falls within that, you know, something on a stick or yeah, probably something on a stick, because I wouldn't put like oh god, what do they call it? It's lost the name. Like the frozen sandwiches, like the, you know,
ice cream sandwiches.
Ice cream sandwiches. I probably wouldn't put that in here.
No.
Yeah, so probably like stuff on a stick.
Yeah, because those are popsicles are more just like fruit and water.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah, you could probably put Otter Pops in this. Those that actually know what an Otter Pop is, I know like all over across the country, they're like different names. I don't go to these, so I would probably put this at a C, like a mid C.
If I was 40 years younger. I mean, we would step. God, when we lived in Temple, the freaking ice cream man guy would come around like at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, you know, during the summertime, we'd be out, and all of a sudden you hear that and it's 11 o'clock, and kids are come flying out of their house. But my favorite it's like a bomb pop, but it was a 7-Up.
Oh, okay.
It was a 7-Up pop, and that was one of my favorites. But I love bomb pops.
Yeah,
I always
those are good.
So, but I mean,
yeah, maybe like a B.
I mean, Papa would have probably liked popsicles. There was a time there when he was eating ice cream every day. So,
gotcha. All right. Okay, so moving on to some like more fancy shit. We got macarons. Yeah, we have a lady here in town that makes them personally. We've ordered from her several times, and they're bomb as shit. And you have to eat them within like 3 days, because if not, they just like they get hard and stuff. They're phenomenal. So to me, that's like a high A, because like that's pretty much all I've ever had was like homemade ones. I don't think I've ever gotten some from the store.
Now those are not. Is there a difference between? Maybe, excuse me, maybe I'm not. Between a macaroon and a I mean, isn't there a difference between the two?
That's a good question.
What are those things we get you, Daybreaker, at Sam's Club?
Madeline's?
Oh, Madeline's, yeah. Never mind. A macaron or French macaroon. Oh, okay. So they're basically the same thing. A macaron or French macaroon is a sweet meringue-based confection.
Okay, yeah, so I apologize. I called these the wrong things. These are macaroons, not macarons, because a macaron, yeah, is a French pastry.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a difference, but I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, so these would be just like the little sandwiches.
So so these would be like macaron. There is, and, yeah. Well, are we sure? Because I mean, it looks like macarons. I'm looking at macarons pictures, and I'm looking at that, and they look like macarons.
Oh, okay.
What's the difference?
People in the comments definitely let us know, because
what is a macarons? Wow, I don't know. I mean, there's actually a word. There's a macaron. Yeah, M-A-C-A-R-O-N. No, M-A-C-R-O-N.
So I think the one with 2 O's is the sandwich. like the little cookie that you guys see on the screen. The one with 1 O is like the fancy shit with like the meringue and stuff. So yeah, I think these are macaroons, which are like little fancy sandwich cookie kind of things.
I mean, I like them. The only time I ever see them is the World Market.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that they sell those there.
Yeah, that's the place I ever see them. It's not something that I would grab.
Something that you would go to. Right.
Yeah, not a go-to.
Yeah. Something you've ever had before, Daybreaker?
I probably have, but I just like my mind's drawing a blank on when I have and what they taste like. So
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put this at like a C. Unless like they're like the ones like I just talked about, like I order fresh, I would then put it at an S. But yeah, I don't go out of my way to like buy them at a store either. So, all right.
That's a mom dessert. That's your mom's dessert.
Nice.
She
all
likes
right. Next is just straight up candy.
Oh, that's tough. Well, but you know.
I mean, this looks like one of those like Halloween bag mishmatches. You know, you got your Tootsie Rolls, your gum, your other chewy shit, probably some chocolate in there somewhere. But yeah, just candy as a whole. I mean, I would literally put like anything that you would consider a candy into this category.
Wild berry Skittles, sweet tart ropes, S tier.
They're right. Yeah,
see, I mean,
like
I can't
would throw Peeps in here, you know.
Oh yeah,
no, and then
that would go in E.
when the Mike and Ike's actually did the sour ones.
Oh yes, those were dope.
Actually, since I was talking to your mom, and since my taste buds have changed, I have seriously been thinking of trying Peeps again.
Just to see if
they still taste like crap to me, but because because I was eating those. What was those things called? Spoosh. What was it? Spatch or whatever.
Something like that.
I mean, that had marshmallow on it, and it wasn't too bad.
Sponge. So, sorry, I had to go back to our text chain.
Yeah, sponge. It's a Mexican candy fruit thingy with marshmallow, coconut. Anyway, I kind of dug that, so that was good. So I can't do the sweet stuff anymore.
Right.
Like, definitely the sour stuff. That because of how my taste buds have changed.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But chocolate, oh man. Yeah, I'd put candy in the
S tier. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm looking right now. I've got like $1,000 grand bars.
Talking 100 grand.
100 grand, yeah. 100 grand, whatever.
With inflation, they become 100,000 grand.
100,000 grand. Yeah, right.
That's funny.
But yeah, chocolate would. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I would definitely say that's my weakness.
Yeah.
Chocolate. I love chocolate.
It
doesn't love me.
Insert SpongeBob chocolate. I can't scream right now, but all right. Yeah. Since we were definitely all right. So we got our second S tier. Nothing in the D, which I found kind of nice that we haven't. I mean, there's probably something in here that's probably going to go.
And I have to go back to the chocolate, and because it just reminded me. And I know this is going to sound freaking weird, but when I was younger, and I was on a bowling team. They're bowling again. When I was younger on Saturdays, I'd buy a Dr. Pepper, and then I would buy a Mr. Goodbar, and I would put it in my Dr. Pepper, so it would get cold.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the chocolate with the Dr. Pepper would give a flavor, but then I would also eat my candy bar out of my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I just gave my.
You just solidified the S for there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Next up is gonna be actually I'm gonna bring these over because I feel like they all kind of fall into the same category. There we go. All right, next up is cupcakes. And this is again cupcakes as a whole, not just necessarily that red velvet cupcake that you guys see on the screen.
Depends on the cupcake and depends on where it's from.
True.
If it's from what's that place?
Cupcake Fetish. Shout out to Cupcake Fetish in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, Albuquerque Fetish Cupcakes. Yeah, you guys are the bomb.
Yeah, hands down, best cupcakes I've ever friggin' had in my life. They definitely fulfilled their name.
Yeah,
people could have a fetish over some of their friggin' cupcake. Because what was it? Was it called like Crazy Monkey or something like that?
Oh,
the banana one.
Yeah, the banana one.
Oh my god. Yeah, hands down. But to collaborate with Daybreaker, I like cupcakes, but yes, like specific ones. Like, I mean, I would go to cupcakes over cake, but so I feel like it would be an A tier for me. But again, yeah, like if it's some flavor that like I don't like, I'm not gonna eat it.
Right.
Yeah, because think about it, it's like I love like Hostess cupcakes, and then like you know, places like Sam's Club, anywhere that usually has like a deli or a bakery will have like those little tiny like little bite-sized cupcakes, and like I could eat a whole freaking tray of those.
Right.
But like when it comes to like the fancier cupcakes, you know, like that you actually get that like from a place like Cake Fetish that specialized, it's like, yeah, they're good, but you're not going to eat like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to eat a whole freaking thing that you buy from there. It's going to be like you eat one.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see it. I would probably put it in A.
Yeah. And yeah, definitely. And we have a place here in Lubbock. It's called the Ruffled Cup, which is pretty daggone close to Cake Fetish in Albuquerque.
Nice.
But I mean, that was a mandatory stop. When we went to Albuquerque, we always stopped at Cake Fetish to buy cupcakes, because those are just like, well, it's because you eat one and it's, you know, you've freaking died and gone to heaven.
Right.
So especially if it's a flavor you like. So yeah,
exactly.
Definitely an A.
Yeah. All right. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna move these towards the end because that'll kind of like go with the whole reason we're filming this episode. All right. So next up is Rice Krispie treats.
I'd probably put those in B for me personally. Like, I like them, and I mainly just get, you know, obviously the Rice Krispie treat, you know, branded, named ones. They do make a good snack, like in a pinch when like I'm not feeling anything else.
Right.
So I would put them in B, because like I really don't dabble too much, like, because I know that they like do other ones that have like sprinkles and like M&Ms and stuff on them, but like, you know, yeah, it's you know, those aren't always as good as just like the default like standard flavored one.
Yeah.
I totally agree with Daybreaker.
Yeah.
I totally agree with him. That's, you know, just a straight, you know, it's a good when you want something sweet, but you don't, you know, eat something quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a 30, well, about to be 37-year-old man with about to be 6-year-old kids, yes, I completely agree with that. Because I will steal theirs. All right, next up is going to be s'mores.
You know what? People are going to freaking freak out. I'm not a s'mores fan. I just don't see the... Maybe if you're out camping and you make one, but just for... Yeah, I'm not. I've never been a s'mores fan. I don't see the appeal. Unless it's, like I said, you're doing it, you know, you're out camping and you bring the stuff to do it. Yeah. Then that's cool. But otherwise, I'm like,
Right.
I'm not a big fan.
I don't hate traditional s'mores, but anything that I usually get that has more flavor in it is typically the way I go. You know, like s'mores Pop-Tarts.
Oh yes,
you know, s'mores.
That makes it to me a higher level, because I love Pop-Tarts.
Right.
And to me, that kind of elevates it. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense," but I totally agree with Daybreaker. When it's a Pop-Tart, it elevates it for some reason. So I would kind of lean towards that.
Yeah.
Why aren't Pop-Tarts in the freaking categories?
That's very true. We should find a Pop-Tart tier list, and we'll do that at some point.
Oh god,
Right.
they've made so many freaking like new flavors, and then there's like limited time flavors that they made. Like God, we'd be there for fucking days.
Right, we'll have to just see if we can like find like a bare minimum, so like we're not here for 2 hours filming.
Like the ones that are actually in
Like,
rotation and they
like,
actually sell,
available
like that you
all
can
year
find
round.
at any store instead of
Yeah, kind of do like what GMM does. Yeah, I would have to agree on with both of what you guys said. I mean, I don't make s'mores. That's just unless I would be camping, which is going to be never. But I like s'mores flavored stuff. So that's where I was thinking this might be our first D because it's just something that we all don't go to, but adding the fact that s'mores flavor stuff could fall into this.
I'd put it in C.
C?
At least
Yeah.
high C.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Next up is chocolate dip pretzels. I know, very specific.
If it's freaking white chocolate, cram that sucker up there at the top.
Yeah, what is it? What are they called? Flips?
Yes.
You could eat a whole
Oh my
bag of
God.
that.
Yes.
Like, hands down.
White chocolate covered pretzels. I would make myself sick eating those. Yes. Although I dig chocolate covered pretzels, but the white chocolate would be my. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say personally, I'm not big on like the more sweet dipped pretzels. I'm very basic. I like just normal pretzels
Just the
and
salt.
or pretzels that have cheese, cheese dip in some shape or form.
Beer
So,
cheese. Beer cheese.
yeah, so I'm more of the savory pretzel type. So
Yeah.
instead of the sweet.
So probably with two.
Yeah, I'd
on
put
a B.
B.
Put it on
Yeah,
a B.
I'd put on B.
Okay.
Sure. For me, it'd probably be like mid C.
Mid C. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I kind of wish we could like break this up, but then it would probably make the list like outrageously long. All right. Next up is cookies. Cookies as a whole.
Probably put those in A because it depends because there's a lot of different types of cookies.
I agree.
Yeah.
There are some that I just absolutely like can't stand. But then there's like Girl Scout cookies, and then like even some of like the generic off-brand stuff you can find at like dollar stores is actually really good. So
yeah.
There's these thin cookies. They're thin and crisp. What are they? Who makes them?
Oh, and it's like oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I can't remember, but they're like thin and they're crispy cookies. Oh my gosh, yeah! You give me a bag of those and they're gone.
They're gone.
One sitting. They're gone in one sitting.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say especially. I mean, for me, this is probably a high A, because my wife and I are obsessed with caramel.
That's true. Those are rich. Those can be rich.
They can be, yeah. So like, so I guess with that, I mean, taking that into consideration, probably low A, mid A. Because so, some of those, man, like I can't eat their chocolate ones because they are just so freaking rich.
They're called Tate's. Tate's cookies.
Okay.
Yeah, T-A-T. Yeah.
Shout out to Tate's.
Yeah, shout out to Tate's. They're heaven. And of course, Pepper Farms cookies are the bomb too. So
yeah,
definitely an A for cookies.
Cool. All right, next up is this is a big item too, so we'll put that there. Cinnamon rolls.
S.
There's no debate. We're done.
Yes. Sounds good.
And if they're Cinnabons,
yes,
then
that's
we
like
go to S plus. S plus.
Yes, exactly. All right. Makes that one easy.
No, yeah, I agree.
All right, next up is donuts.
S.
Yeah. And if it's Amy's Donuts in Tucson,
yep,
those freaking bizarre donuts they make. Oh my god, they have like one called. They have like a chunky monkey donut.
Yes,
it's like banana. Oh
it's
my
got
god,
banana chips on it,
yes.
like the dried banana chips.
Yes,
bomb.
Oh my god.
Yeah, shout out to Amy's, man.
Yeah, shout out to Amy's. What a freaking awesome donut.
Made it through the pandemic and people vandalizing her store and shit.
Right. And if people out there listening, if you're ever in Tucson, go to Amy's Donuts.
They're open 24/7.
Yep, and you will your jaw will drop to your chest because you'll just the amount of freaking different donuts
there.
And hands down, they beat Krispy Kreme's. They just run them over. So
yeah.
Yeah.
All
Amy's
right.
done it.
That's the two simple, easy ones. Now we kind of go on to some weird ones. Crepes.
You know, the thing with crepes, well, I guess since we're doing desserts for crepes, yeah, I do like crepes, especially banana crepes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where they'll put, it's like a banana filling, of course, in a crepe, and then they'll put like banana slices on top.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I put that in. I mean, it's not like I die for it, have to have it. I haven't had crepes for like ever. It's been a long time. Your mom used to work at Crepe Kiosk, Tucson Mall. Not there anymore. Long gone.
Yep.
That's all they made. And they made savory crepes too, which was cool. I would put it as an A, but
I honestly can't tell like when I've had a crepe. Like again, it's like one of those things, like I'm sure I've had it and I didn't mind it, but
it's
been so long since I've had one, like I couldn't really
there's not
accurately say.
Well, it's just, that's not a common.
It's not a common American thing unless like you go to IHOP. Like, because that's where I was gonna say, like, the last time I think I've had a crepe was from IHOP, and I don't think that they're made right. They're not made like the traditional French way.
There's a, so I'm looking, it made me think about here in Lubbock. So of course the first thing that pops up is IHOP.
Of course.
But I guess there's a French place here in town, La Madeleine, that does crepes. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not something, it's not a common thing. I would put it as a B because it's I mean, it's good, but it's just not a common that, it's not something you go around. I mean, if you saw it on the menu, you might order it, but
Yeah. Well, which brings us to another weird one, cannolis.
Yeah, it's a long time since I've had a cannoli.
Same.
I think oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'd probably probably low B, like
low B. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a
good.
back east thing, and I'm not dogging Easterners, but that's something. Cannolis are, stuff like that.
Oh
you don't see that.
Honestly, it's like I think the last time I had a cannoli was that mom and pop donut shop in Roswell used to sell them, and they were good, but like that was like over 10 years ago.
And that was probably because they were laced with crack. So.
That's why they were good.
That's why they were good.
Were you talking about Mama Tucker's?
Yeah.
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 I don't think they do crepes anymore because it's owned by a different guy now.
Right. All right. Next up. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I didn't know that's where we were talking about. I thought we were talking about one of the other donut shops because I know that there were a lot of those like pop-up ones that
there was the one that, remember the one, the one south on South Roswell. Yeah, that's probably where the crack ones were. We're gonna get in so much trouble for that.
That's all right. No one knows who we're talking about. All right, next up on the list is cheesecake.
Depends on the type of cheesecake, but I do like the cheesecakes that I've had from Cheesecake Factory. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'd probably put it in a high B at least.
Yeah,
high B.
I agree. Yeah,
I'll agree with you guys. I mean, obviously, Cheesecake Factory, hands down, you gotta get a cheesecake, especially like because their freaking cheesecake menu is like 8 pages long.
Their whole menu is 8 pages long.
No, their whole menu is like 17 pages long.
17, yeah. I mean, it's like
and the cheesecake is half of the menu.
It's like your waiter comes to you and gives you the menu and says, I'll see you in 30 minutes after you make your decision.
Right. Yeah. All right, cool. Next up is brownies.
Special brownies.
No, not special for brownies. Me, I probably, like, again, it really depends. Like, Domino's does a cookie brownie.
Ooh,
that's really good.
Those are
like
good.
Just normal brownies, like they're not typically my go-to for a desserty type of thing. Like,
we get there's a place here in Slayton, Texas. They make a Coke cake, COKE, and no, it's not cocaine cake. It's kind of brownish. It's like a cake brownish. That's pretty good. But I'm in agreement with Daybreaker.
high C for me because it's just really hard because there's like so many times where I've had like brownies that have like had stuff in them and they're just like ugh. But
yeah,
other
I'm
times
so
it's like,
rich, rich.
Right.
I don't like a lot of rich desserts. I don't like stuff that you like smacking your lips. And you're like, because it's just so rich.
Right. Yeah, because I think it is the one that Daybreaker mentioned from Domino's. Like, I like especially like if you get it like right away, like, it doesn't take 20 minutes for it to get to you.
Oh, yeah, and it's still warm.
It's still warm, but it has a little bit of a small crunch, like from the top layer. Super good. And then you let it sit out for a day, and then it gets crunchy, but it's still soft in the middle. Hands down, that's good. But yeah, I don't go to brownies.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm ordering from like a pizza joint or something like that has it, I will. But yeah. All right. Next up is fudge. Yeah.
It almost have to say like Daybreaker. It depends, and I don't like a lot of crap in it.
Right.
I would put it with brownies. It's the same thing for me.
It's a seasonal thing for me. Like I like it kind of more towards the holidays,
like the holiday season.
Yeah.
We have a couple of the C's candies that like only open during those times, and I'm in agreement with that. All right, last two ones. The reason I put these towards the end is if you guys are just now tuning into the video for some weird reason, you somehow skipped towards the end here. I'm actually away on a Disney trip right now when you guys are seeing this, so I feel like these kind of fit to the end because these are probably things I'm going to be getting in Disney, especially the last one, because I guess there's like now a bunch of different ones that they have at Disney. Which we'll get to that here in a second. But second to last, and you don't necessarily have to have it with chocolate. These are funnel cakes.
Oh God, put that up at the B. A or S, excuse me. I would literally
entire like tier.
I'm like I was looking backwards at the tier. I don't know what I was thinking. I would literally pay admission fee into a fair just to get a funnel cake. Just to get a funnel cake.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you find out that people actually have trucks now that just make funnel cakes,
right?
It's like I don't have to wait for the fair.
Yeah, yeah. I am these. Same way when the New Mexico State Fair or whatever that one's called in Roswell. Me and my friends would pay admission to go get a turkey leg and a funnel cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You could care less about the rides or anything else.
Right. Yeah.
You went just for the food and the funnel cake.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially if you're going to a freaking just like rinky-dink, fucking fair in some small city, everything there is gonna kill you anyway. So it might be the thing that tastes good that fucking kills you.
Right.
Amen to that.
So I think we're all in agreement that that's an S tier.
I agree. And that's definitely one of those things that if you go to a fair and people say, "Did you get a funnel cake?" You say no. They'll just like
they have the right to smack you.
Yeah, exactly. They have rights. I think it's a law now. They just let them pop you in the face because you're that dumb not to get a funnel cake.
For me, it'd probably be like mid B.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's not bad. It's not terrible. I like it when I have it, but it's not not a thing I have to like.
Not something you have to get.
Definitely not something that comes up on like my cravings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put it down there if you want.
Yeah. No. Whatever you guys want to fucking do, man.
All right. Well, God, I cannot believe this took an hour. That's phenomenal. But our last one here is going to be churros. I'm going to come straight out and be like S tier, especially hearing and seeing some of the videos that I've seen of some of the new ones. Like supposedly right now at some kiosk at Disneyland, there is a tiramisu churro.
Ooh.
And I am so fucking ecstatic to try that. So to me, it's S tier because again, that's something I would pay admission to go to or go to a fair, I wouldn't necessarily say I would go to a fair for a churro, but it's something if I'm there, I'm definitely picking it up.
Well, I agree. And the funny thing is that when we took you to Disneyland when you were younger, that's one of the first places we would go that would open would be to buy churros.
Buy churros, yeah.
big old freaking foot long churros, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's also been other places like fast food joints that have them on their menu. I will always order them.
Who has
a box?
Jack in the Box. Thanks, dude.
Jack in the Box. Yep, Jack in the Box. There's, I don't know if you guys have it in Lubbock. There's a Mexican seafood joint called Rubio's. They do churros too, and they're bomb. Like, and they're only like $1.50 a piece. So, yeah.
I think even like Sam's Club does churros.
Sam's Club does churros.
Oh yeah, they do churros. That's right. Oh, you're right. Sam's Club did churros because that was one of the. We would buy the pretzel. You know, we'd get the pretzel from Sam's Club and churro.
Yep.
I think. Actually, no. Although there's no Rubio's here.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It looks like it's Arizona, California, Nevada.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's more your way.
I'll have to try Rubio's next time you guys are out here.
Rubio's Coastal Grill.
Yep. Cool.
Oh, they're out of California. Cool.
So sounds like an agreement on the churros.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I just gained 10 pounds
just from looking and talking about all this.
Talking about all this freaking. I got a head rush from the sugar.
Pretty impressed though. I mean, that's a pretty good list. I mean, nothing really like. Obviously, you guys got a taste of all of what we like. There's nothing that we don't necessarily like. So we'll definitely have to do another one of these tiers where something ends up in the.
We hate everything.
We'll find something that sucks eventually.
We'll find something that sucks. But yeah, if you guys like this kind of video, we definitely. I forgot to say it at the beginning of the video, so if you're watching this at the end, give us a comment over there in the live chat box, and then yeah, be sure to. We'll probably do another one of these somewhere down the road. But we just wanted to kind of test the waters and see how this would go, and I'm kind of glad how it went. I think you guys would agree. I mean, like I didn't think that we would be like sitting here arguing with each other over like, no, donut deserves an S rating, not an A. You know, I didn't think it would get to that point, but I kind of like, you know, how we all still had different opinions and we were able to make a list that looks pretty damn good.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, be sure to give us a like and a subscribe if you liked this, and also check out our other content here on our channel. And we are live every Thursday. You can check out what we are streaming on our upcoming live streams, and we will see you guys next week. And be sure to check out our Kingdom Hearts videos that are posting every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And we will see you guys next time. Stay grooving, everybody.
Later.
Lawyers.